Just incredible, buddy. I love you. And you look so healthy. You look so happy. And I didn't realize you had that bridge behind you, man. You got a nice living room. So you guys, I'm getting tons of messages about when the next one is and what it is. So Paul Croto and I are going to have a surprise for you, and Cheryl Morley, of we're calling it a 2x12 boot camp that is going to blow your mind. And we're going to give you details like that, but I am stretching out these Super Saturdays a little bit because we're going to work one of those in. So the next Super Saturday is in 2 weeks, and it will be the next round of Youngevity superstar performers that are building their businesses, and it's going to be another round robin like that. And then 1 month from today, we're going to do a brand ambassadors meeting just like this with all of the incredible brand ambassadors, Stan Dennison, Fred Van Loo, the people that have been strategically acquired by Youngevity that really deserve a microphone to put a lot of attention on their products. And we want to have 1,000. We want to cap this thing. Right now, we're sitting at 617. We've got Dr. Luis Arriaza coming up next. But I am going to tell you, you are in for the ride of a lifetime with what's going on. So every afternoon, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, we're either doing training or we are bringing in incredible outside speakers to make your life better. We're doing the Hair on Fire call. And now every other weekend, we're doing this big time stuff. And this 2x12, you are going to be crying when you see what we do for you there. So get ready. I mean, we are absolutely taking the mountain, and there is no looking up and there is no looking back. I promise you one thing right now, wait for nothing. And if you're waiting for Tom Chenault, Paul Croto, Cheryl Morley, you are late. And that's that simple. So back to you, Paul Croto.
Well, we're going to go over to Sean. He's got another deal for us. This guy's just full of deals today.
I'm full of deals, and just what a call so far. How about
Unbelievable.
Just incredible. You know, just so many great things that we've learned, and what a great, several hundred people on here. So excited that you're all here. Just to recap some of the specials we've done already. Remember the muscadine capsules. If you buy the single bottle, you will get one free. Also, ACT cans are triple QV. I've heard from several of you already that have already bought them, so thank you for that and great work. Now, if you Google rebound chart comparison, you see I'm sharing one of them on the screen. There are a bunch. And you go to images in Google, you'll see so many of them. And one of the great things about Rebound is that, as you know, there's an incredible peer pressure if you have teenagers or even young adults in your house to drink energy drinks. It's almost like cultural, and they're horrible for them, right? Tons of sugar, tons of bad stuff in there, and highly addictive, and they're just super expensive, and they're drinking them like crazy. I have 3 teenage boys in my house, and so you can imagine that I like to keep the Rebound cans on hand all the time. Now, if you look at this Rebound comparison chart, you can see just exactly why Rebound is a superior product to any of the other energy drinks out there. It's a great sports drink. It tastes great. It's got the B vitamins and the caffeine to get you going. It's got everything that you possibly could want in order to not only feel great, but you could be able to rebound from a workout. My boys drink it every single day. They just got done with a 2-hour soccer workout. They drank it the whole time. They love it. Their teammates drink it. And it's something great. If you stock them at your house, you'll have a great chance at keeping them away from those other drinks. So today's special is double QV on Rebound cans. We don't typically do this on our top sellers, but today through Monday, you'll be able to get double QV on the Rebound cans. I'll put the details in the comments here in a second. Back to you, Paul.
Well, thank you so much, Sean, for all these great deals. And don't sell all the ACT. I'm doing the MC thing here today, and I'm not going to have a chance to go get it until this ends. So save me some.
You got it.
All right, awesome. Well, we have 4 unbelievable speakers so far. I mean, the best of the best. But now we go on to unbelievable. He's one of the best speakers I've ever seen in my entire life. He's Dr. Luis Arriaza. We were just chatting before this health summit. And, you know, do you ever have one of those moments where you're asking something, it's coming out of your mouth, and you just feel stupid while you're asking it? I was asking him, what are you going to speak on? And I'm just like, why am I even asking this question? He is going to be speaking on the power of detoxifying your liver. And he really is the world's leading authority on this topic. There's nobody that knows more about the liver than Dr. Arriaza. He is just a wealth of knowledge. He actually was the formulator of a True to Life nutritional supplement line that is sold worldwide. I've done the True to Life liver detox program a number of times. It's absolutely phenomenal. I can't encourage it enough. And every single evening I drink Dr. Arriaza's tea, this True to Life detox tea. So if you haven't tried this yet, every evening I have one of these. I just love having it. It's just the perfect way to wind your day down. And detox is everything. And I know Dr. Arriaza is going to talk about it for the next 18 minutes. He's an international wellness speaker and one of the best speakers I've ever heard my whole life. I mean, this doctor is just unbelievable. I just heard him speak in Cabo San Lucas about a couple months ago and blew my mind away. Just like, I get all of my training from this one builder and doctor. He's a businessman, like I said, a doctor of chiropractic. He's toured the whole world sharing this powerful message. He's a diamond ambassador here at Youngevity. He's earned and helped others earn millions of dollars through network marketing. But not only has he achieved massive financial success, but more importantly, in his personal life, he's had massive spiritual fulfillment. He's married to his soulmate, Avelia, who I love and we all love here at Youngevity. She's just an amazing woman. You can see, they say behind every good guy is a great woman, and Avelia is unbelievable. He has 3 awesome boys. Fabian is actually the future of network marketing. Yep. He was on one of Tom's calls a few days ago, and he's unbelievable. So he's following right in his dad's footsteps. So without further ado, Dr. Luis Arriaza.
And the crowd goes wild. And the crowd goes wild. Paul, thank you so much for those beautiful words. Thank you for being the MC, the Master of Ceremonies. It is a very, very difficult job. You have to stay on 100% and for the entire 3-4 hours. And I applaud you because it is not something that many people can do. Keeping that energy high, staying focused, edifying, really being passionate. You know, my mentor, I've had 3 mentors in my life. And my first mentor 27 years ago, he told me that passion is born out of sincerity. And Paul, I really feel your sincerity. I feel that you are sincere when you edify these leaders. I feel that you are sincere when you bring people on. I really feel and believe that you're sincere, that you want to help the world be better, you know, and I applaud you. And I am so happy that you're part of Youngevity, you're part of Youngevity International, and you and our super powerful Black Diamond ambassador, Cheryl Morley, you guys are doing some amazing things. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you to Tom for putting this on. Tom is my mentor, and Tom Chenault has done something very, very difficult, you know, during these trying times, during these times where many people, you know, that book made a long time ago, Who Moved My Cheese? The cheese has been moved, and the cheese has been moved for hundreds of millions of people. And a lot of people are in a state of panic. A lot of people are in a state of anxiety. A lot of people are in a state of confusion. And when you're in a state of confusion, it's like Jim Rohn would say, when people don't know what to expect, they just stop expecting. And many people have stopped expecting. Many people have stopped expecting how to be better. Many people have stopped expecting how to live life. And one of the most dangerous things is that many people have stopped growing and stopped contributing, not necessarily in Youngevity, but just in the world. And it takes people like Tom, Chenault, to find a purpose in keeping us all together. And that is very, very difficult to do. It takes people like Tom to really say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do something every single day. I mean, this week we're coming up on 60 days from March 15th to May 15th, 60 days of being quarantined. Everyone's quarantine is a little bit different, right? Some people have the luxury of being quarantined in a big home with a lot of land and a lot of amenities. Other people don't. So I never want to think that we're all on the same playing field when we're talking about how our lifestyles are. So there's a lot of people right now who are struggling, and it takes people like Tom to really inspire them and empower them every single day. And it's something that is needed every single day. Same thing to Sean getting on this call, being part of corporate and really showcasing his loyalty and showcasing his strength with the field. We need that as a builder, as a network marketer, as a professional network marketer. We need that. When we see corporate on the call, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel excited. It makes me feel like we're in this together. So I want to just commend all of you and just commend the previous speakers. I'm obviously none of us would be here if it wouldn't be for Dr. Joel Wallach, the icon of health. You know, I always, when I edify Dr. Wallach, I refer to him as a combination of Albert Einstein and Dr. Martin Luther King. They had a child, and boom, Dr. Wallach was born, because Dr. Wallach has done something and no one else has done. And for him to be, 79, 80, 81 years old and still have the desire and the passion to go out every single day and serve the masses, to me, it is so awe-inspiring. So Tom, thank you so much for giving me this honor. And, and for me, it's a little bit different, because I'm talking about personal development. I'm talking about neurology. I'm talking about how to build your business. And I know this is a product-driven event and product-driven platform. So let me share a little bit about how I came to the point of creating the True to Life Detox. When I was 14 years old, I wanted to be an attorney. And I was a freshman at Cathedral High School. It's a private high school in Los Angeles. If you're familiar with Los Angeles, it's right above Los Angeles, in this area called Chinatown. And it was career day. So we were waiting for the different, career specialists to come into class. And I was in the class for attorneys. And I was front and center, and I was really, really excited, very impressionable. And the first thing that happened was that the attorney was very late. We only had like 30 minutes, and he was like 7-8 minutes late. And then he came in and he was perspiring profusely. I mean, he was drenched, right? And he was really, really overweight. He was really in bad shape. He was panting like he was about to have a heart attack. I remember he had a black suit, a white shirt, and a polyester red tie. And the red tie had a big soil in the middle. I'm just looking at him. I'm 14 years old, and I'm just looking at him thinking, what the heck is this? And then he starts talking about law and how difficult it is. And he didn't pass the bar 4 times. And I'm just like, within 10 minutes, I'm like sinking in my seat thinking, if that's what my future is to be, I don't want that, right? And so what happened was I came home that day and I told my mom, I was 14. I said, my mom, Dad, I said, I don't want to be an attorney anymore. And they're like, but why? I said, because I saw an attorney today and that's not the lifestyle that I want. So from 14 to 15, I'd go to bed every night praying to God, like, what is it that I want to do? I know it's kind of weird, because most 14-year-olds, especially in today's time, aren't doing that, right? They're playing Xbox or PS4 or Madden or Fortnite. And I was really praying to God, because I wanted to do something with my life. Remember, I was born and raised in South Central. And when I was 15 years old, my parents asked me to go to a chiropractor. And I went to the chiropractor. And I remember sitting there, and I didn't know what to expect, because my parents had been going to chiropractor for years. My parents have been very faithful with their chiropractor for over 50 years. Now, I didn't know what chiropractic was, but what I saw people walk into the office. I'm in the lobby, and when they would walk out, they would be different, like spiritually, emotionally, they were different. Maybe physically, they were the same, right? Maybe some people walked in with pain and they walked out with pain, but there was a glow about them, and it was so overwhelming. And at that moment, on the way home, I told my mom and dad, I said, I want to be a chiropractor. They're like, but you know nothing about chiropractic. I said, I know, but I want to make people feel the way that doctor makes people feel. I want to embrace people the way he embraced people. I knew nothing about chiropractic. And at the age of 15, I started to spend my time after school and during summer with this chiropractor. And when I was 16 years old, he bought me this book. And this book is called The Science, Philosophy, and Art of Chiropractic. And I began to read this book. This book is written by B.J. Palmer. B.J. Palmer is considered to be one of the greatest American philosophers in the last 100 years. And I started to learn a little bit. Most of this I didn't understand because I was so young. but I started to learn that there was a different philosophy, right? I started to learn that there's a different philosophy between chiropractic and medicine. And
We're not done yet here.
what I learned, oh, I think Dr. Wallach is on right now. What I learned, I love you, Dr. Wallach, we can hear me. What I learned is that medicine had more of a mechanistic approach to wellness, right? And chiropractic had more of a vitalistic approach to wellness. Well, what does that mean? That means that as chiropractors, we believe in a universal premise. As chiropractors, we believe in a universal intelligence. We believe in innate intelligence. And Dr. Glidden talks about this very, very often. And then when I was 19 years old, that same doctor bought me this book. And it's called The Bigness of the Fellow Within. And it's probably, second to the Bible, the greatest book that I've ever read in my entire life. And in the last 30 years, I've probably read this book like three or four times. And it's stories upon stories upon stories of how vitalism is such a better philosophy than mechanism, right? So then I started to understand at a very young age, I started to understand a little bit more about how we function, how the human physiology functions, how we can be healthy, how we can be strong, how we can be vibrant. And in that book, what I learned, and later when I entered chiropractic college, I was gifted this, which is called the Chiropractic Philosophy. And so I want to give you a background of how I've come to this point of learning this philosophy, because if you've heard me speak, I always talk about philosophy. I always talk about what makes people move, what makes people behave the way they behave, what makes people take choice, make the decisions they make, and the experiences and the emotions. And it all comes back to this philosophy. And what I learned was that there was a universal premise. Let me give you the universal premise of health and wellness. It says there's a universal intelligence in all animate and inanimate objects, giving to it its properties and actions, and thus maintaining it in existence. So there's a universal intelligence holding everything together. There's a universal intelligence holding this pin and making this pin a pin. There's a universal intelligence holding this AirPod and making this AirPod an AirPod. But there's a universal intelligence in you and I also. The difference between this pin and you and I is that in you and I, in all living organisms, there's also an innate intelligence. I'll repeat this. In every object, animate and inanimate, there's a universal intelligence. But in us living organisms, there's also an innate intelligence. Because and let me give an example. If I put this pin in a freezer, the pin is going to freeze. If you put yourself in a freezer, you're going to shiver. There's going to be vasoconstriction. Blood flow is going to rush to the organs to preserve the organs, preserve the central nervous system so you can survive. You may get gangrene of the fingers, but you're not going to get gangrene of the heart. You may get gangrene of the toes, but you're not going to get gangrene of the liver, because the innate intelligence knows what to do, how much to do, and when to do it, right? So if I put this pin in the Arizona desert, it will eventually melt. If I put you and I in the desert, we're going to begin to perspire. That is a cooling mechanism, because at the end of the day, the innate intelligence is trying to keep homeostasis. It's trying to keep us alive and healthy. It's trying to keep the harmony between the external environment and the internal environment. And when I learned that, I said, wow, this is pretty spectacular. Because now what this tells me is that we don't have to worry about all the 6,600 pathologies. We don't have to worry about all the 6,600 diseases. We don't have to worry about all the conditions, because if we just keep the body functioning, see, there's a chiropractic axiom that says the body needs no help, it just needs no interference. I'm gonna repeat this. The body needs no help, it just needs no interference. So our roles, our job is to remove the interference. So when I was loaded and when I was prepared and I started my practice, I came in strong with this amazing vitalistic philosophy. And it didn't matter what the patients presented themselves with. I had the honor of adjusting over 300,000 individuals. 300,000 individuals. 60% of my patient loads patient load was probably about 7 years or younger. Okay. So I was a specialist with pediatric adjustments. I adjusted everything. I adjusted everyone from the womb to the tomb. And everyone knew that. Everyone knew that if your child was a month old, was 98 years old, I was going to adjust her, because my ultimate goal was to adjust you and free up the innate intelligence so you can be well from above down, inside out. And if you knew, and if you would give me the opportunity to teach you and instruct you on the power of this philosophy, people's minds would change. And we grew we didn't grow one office, we grew 7 incredibly successful health centers. But this is what happened. There came a point when I realized that there were some patients that just were not getting the results that we were looking for. And when we started to further investigate, and we started to investigate the endocrine system. Now, the endocrine system is made up of a bunch of glands and a bunch of hormones and a bunch of organs and a bunch of chemicals. Part of your endocrine system is your hypothalamus, it's your pineal gland, it's your parotid gland, it's your thyroid gland, it's your parathyroid gland, right? It's your ovaries, it's your testicles. I mean, it's all these different glands. And every gland, what it does is that it secretes a hormone. Now, hormones can either be steroidal or anti-steroidal, right? Or non-steroidal. So therefore, these hormones, what they're going to do is that they're going to promote cells into activity. That's what's going to happen. Now, what we started to understand is people were becoming sick, and people were becoming more and more sick. People were becoming more and more unhealthy. We started to see a rise in cholesterol, a rise in high blood pressure, a rise in blood sugar. We started to see little kids that were, the rate of obesity. We started to see more autism. When I was in school 27 years ago, Alzheimer's wasn't even talked about. Now you see people who have Alzheimer's at the age of 50. A lot of neurological disorders, bipolar and schizophrenia are on the rise. And we were wondering, like, what is going on? Well, what we found out upon our investigation, and we started really studying the endocrine system, because the endocrine system is so incredibly powerful, with the pancreas and the liver and the kidneys and the stomach and the duodenum and jejunum, the whole digestive tract. What we realized is that the liver was at the center of this movement, that if the liver is healthy, the body is well. If the liver is unhealthy, the body is not well. So here I have my little friend right here. I'm gonna introduce you to my little friend right here, right? And here are the lungs, right? Here's the heart, and here is the famous liver right there. Pancreas sits right underneath, and this is your transcendent large intestine. This is your small intestine. So what we realized right here was that everything that comes in, let me give you just a little physiology about the liver, okay? So your liver has several arteries and several veins. Now, you has your hepatic artery that's coming from the heart that's bringing oxygen to the liver, and has a hepatic vein that brings all the chemicals back to the heart and then into the body, okay? Then it has your portal vein. Now, your portal vein comes from your digestive system. I'll repeat this. Your portal vein comes from your digestive system. And this is called your first pass metabolism. I want you to remember this. This is called your first pass metabolism. What does that mean? That means that everything that enters your digestive system, beginning with your stomach, into the duodenum, into the small intestine, everything that enters your digestive system is going to be pulled by the portal vein into the liver. I'm gonna repeat this. Everything that comes into digestive system is going to be pulled by the portal vein into the liver. The liver is the filter of your entire body. Everything that you eat, drink, and breathe has to go first through the liver before it goes back into the general circulation through the hepatic vein, okay? Because the hepatic vein goes to the heart, and then the heart sends it all throughout the body. So whatever you are putting into your body, and that's why I love Dr. Wallach's 90 for Life message, because it is so vitalistic. Before I met Dr. Wallach, when I first heard Dead Doctors Don't Lie, I'm thinking, man, this guy, this man, this icon is on point. I didn't know. I mean, the first time I heard Dead Doctors Don't Lie was 24 years ago. I've been in Youngevity for 8 years. So I was a fan of Dr. Wallach for 16 years before I ever became a representative. But what I realized is this, is I realized that if we can detoxify the liver, right? If we detoxify the liver, because the liver is responsible for many, many chemicals that keep us healthy. One in particular is estrogen. Denatured estrogen becomes something called an estradiol. Estradiol inhibits the function of your thyroid gland. So your thyroid gland controls your metabolism. So if your thyroid gland is not functioning well because there's too much estradiol in the system, then you're going to see people that have a lot of fat around their abdomen. You're going to see a lot of people that have collagen issues. You're going to see a lot of people that have digestive issues. So we realize that if we can detoxify the liver, maybe once, twice, 3 times a year, depending on the individual, if we can detoxify the liver, because we live in a toxic environment, because we breathe the air that we breathe, and we eat the food that we eat, we drink the liquids that we drink, if we detoxify the liver, then the body's going to function a lot better. Some people fail to realize is that not only is this a filter, but eventually this toxicity makes its way down into the gallbladder. And when it goes into the gallbladder, those toxic dust becomes gallstones. So we have seen literally tens of thousands of people in the last 8 years who have liver issues, who have gallstones, who have metabolic issues, who have endocrine issues, who are struggling to lose weight, who have high blood pressure. Remember, we're not treating the disease, we're treating the dis-ease. There's a big difference between health, dis-ease, and disease. There's a big issue. The medicine doesn't acknowledge this, but between health and disease, there's a state of being dis-ease, lack of ease. Our job is to restore the ease to the body. And when we can restore the ease to the body by detoxifying the liver, restoring the function of the endocrine system, then like BJ Palmer would say, the power that made the body will be the same power that's going to heal the body. I'm gonna repeat this. The power that made the body is the same power that's going to heal the body. And I just, we've been with Youngevity for 8 years. We've seen over 500,000 people come into our organization. I wouldn't say 100%, but I'd say about 75 to 80% start off with the liver detox. They start off with the liver detox, and they see some amazing results at the very, very beginning. You do this once or twice a year, depending on your health level, and you're just going to see a result. And what we love the best is that when you detoxify the liver, it's going to allow all the minerals, vitamins, amino acids, and essential fatty acids to function better, because now you're putting them on a clean canvas. So, I mean, it's just an amazing way to live. People detoxify themselves. Some of the youngest kids have been 9, 10 years old up until 9 years old, as long as they can make their way to the restroom, because you will evacuate. And I don't want to give too much, I don't want to be too personal, but you will evacuate quite a bit, and it's incredibly strong. And my recommendation is, if you are happily married, make sure you find a restroom very, very far away, because it is rough. But you want to get that stuff out of your system much, much better than it being in your system. So for us, in the last 8 years, the combination between 90 for life, and the liver detox has just proven itself to be extraordinary. We get stories every single day, and we just keep chanting this mantra of removing the toxicity and introducing the nutrients that your body needs that we can't get from foods anymore. So Tommy, I hope this introduced a little bit of more information to the.
Thank you, Dr. Arriaza. We did a survey